Welcome students to this new lecture, that is Golden-Saxon method, and this method is almost same like Fibonacci method. So let's first review the Fibonacci method so that you can do it easily. So in Fibonacci method, as you saw in the last previous lecture, that you have to find the minimum of some function, and in that the question that was solved in the previous lecture, in that question you were given the interval, for example, on the x-axis. Suppose this is the x-axis and this is 0, and so an interval is given like this. Suppose this is 5 and this is called a and b, and then you have to find the minimum of this fx in this interval between a to b, and number of iteration or number of experiments you are given at the beginning of the question. So what you do in this question is that you have to divide this section actually into 3 sections, and for example, you will take a point here and another point here. 2 points you are taking here, and this is called point x1 and this is called point x2, and this calculation is called first experiment and this calculation is called second experiment. And how you decide the position of these points? You have got some formula based on the Fibonacci numbers, and this is your distance, this, and this is your distance L1, and it is both these distances are equal actually. And how you decide this distance? You decide this distance with the help of formula, and that formula you can see in the previous lecture. So once you have calculated these two this distance, you can very easily decide these 2 points, and after then you see what is the value of the function here. So suppose the value, if you calculate the function value here, it comes like this, and here the function value comes like this. So you can see the trend that minimum, you can guess that minimum is somewhere here. It cannot be here because function is going like this. So you cross this area, you eliminate this area, and now you concentrate your attention only in this area. Okay, and then for one point is here, you have to decide another point, and that point is taken just at equal distance. This is this distance, just this distance, and at equal distance of this, equal to this, third point is taken. Okay, so you have got 2 points, and then again you calculate values of the function, and then you can see the trend. So minimum seems to be lie here, then you eliminate this area. This way you keep on doing this. One point you keep on doing this, and at the equal distance from this. So the idea is this, that suppose in between this you have given this 1 point, this distance you take, and then at the equal distance you take the next point. This is the idea. At the equal distances you have to take the new point, and then you find the value of function here, the value of function here, compare them and see what trend is there, what where is the minimum you think that it will lie. Then if it lies here, then you cross this area and concentrate your attention only on this section. So this is the idea of Fibonacci method. The same idea is for Golden-Saxon method, but the difference is that the formula, this formula to calculate this distance has been changed. It is based on some other concept, that is the Golden-Saxon concept. So let's do this question. So this is the question, the same function we have taken here, the same function that we took in our Fibonacci method, and the same interval we have to check 0 to 3, and with number of experiments or number of iterations equal to 6. So let's see how to do it. First I will show you the axis to visualize the problem. So this is the axis, and in between these 2 points you have to concentrate your attention. This is called point A and this is called point B. So the concept is this, that you have to take let's remove these 2 points because to avoid confusion. So in between these 2 points you have to take first 2 points here, x1 and x2. This is the idea actually in these methods. So how to decide the position of this? So for deciding the position, here we have got the formula, and as you already know that the distance is, this distance is called L2 asterisk, and this whole distance is called L0. So the formula is, how to decide this distance, L2 asterisk is equal to, here you see this carefully, we take this time, this is the golden ratio actually, it is also found in the nature just like Fibonacci number. So if you will put your value in this, so we are using here golden ratio, it will also give us quick result. So we have got this distance, 1.1460. so we can very easily decide this point, and also this distance is equal to, this distance is actually called this, but it is equal to L2. So these 2 distances are equal, and you can decide very easily the points, these points. So how you will decide x1 is equal to 0 plus this distance, so it is nothing but this, so this point comes to be, and the x2 point is b minus L2 this, and b is what, 3, and 1.1460 is the distance. So we have got the point 2 to be this. So these 2 points you have got. Now we will put we will again draw the graph of it to better visualize the problem. So here you can see the axis and the values of x1 and x2 I have written. Now what you have to do is that at these 2 points you have to got the function value, and these are actually called first and second experiments. Means when you get the value of x1 with this calculation, it is called the first experiment, and when you get the value of x2 with the help of the formula, this is called second experiment, and then you put these points to here, and after that you will get the function value like this. Function is this, in the question you have been given, and here you put first the value of x1 and then x2, so you will get the value here that already I have got, and this is minus 0.208654. okay, so I have written the values of function calculated on these points. It is negative, so this is coming in the negative quadrant, but actually if it was positive then it would come like this here, but actually the function is like this, as you saw yesterday it is like this, so that's why it is coming in the negative quadrant. So you don't get confused by that thing. The function values is negative. So now you can very well guess where will our minimum lie. It says that it will be, if the function is going like this, then minimum will be somewhere here. So we can say that we can remove this area, it is of no use for us. So let's and then you will we will concentrate our attention in this area. So this way we have refined the interval of our search, and it is called the new interval of uncertainty. New interval of uncertainty, and we are sure that our minimum cannot lie here, so this way we have focused our attention to a refined area, you can say. So now we are doing the third experiment. We will write it this way, that it is our third experiment, or you can say the iteration, third iteration. And now you know the method, so you can very well do it yourself also. So I have made drawn only the area of interest, so you can see that this point x1 has come here, and the point x2 has come here at the extreme, and this area has been deleted. Now in the third experiment, what we have to do is that we have to decide the position of the third point. Where will this third point come? This point is x3. This will be decided, so it can be decided very easily, because it will be equal to the this distance, at the same distance you take from here, and the point will be here. So if you know this distance, and you can decide this point. So I am doing it, x3 0 plus this distance. How much is this distance? This distance is this. There is no problem at all. So when you will calculate it, you will get this value of x3. So here I have drawn it again, so that we can calculate the value of function. Now calculate the value of function. You will put the value of x3 in the function equation, and what values of the function you will get, you can calculate it yourself. I am writing here the result directly. So this is the function value, and here the function value we had here, f1 is -2. You can take it directly from here. You don't need to calculate it, because we had already calculated it. And then you can compare it, that this point is falling below this point x1. So you can see the trend is like this. It means that the minimum is lying somewhere here. So you can, without any doubt, cross this area, and this is your new interval of uncertainty. We can focus our attention to this interval only. We will delete this region. So now I am drawing the new region. Okay, now we have drawn our new interval of uncertainty. As you can see that we have taken only this region, and I have made only this region. So now you can guess that we have to put a new point x4 here. And how this point will be decided? It will be taken at the same distance here, also. So it's very easy, and this is called your, it was third experiment, and it will be fourth experiment, or fourth calculation, you can say, if you have some doubt to understand the meaning of experiment here, calculation or iterations. So x4 will be 0 plus that distance will be x1 minus x3. So you can calculate it yourself, and you will find that this point to be, so this point is 0.4380. Now we will calculate the values of functions on these points. So here I have drawn the new graph, and f3 value we already knew from this here. You can see that already we have this data, so I have put the data here. Now we will calculate what is the function value at x1. So let's calculate it. So this is the function value at this point, and here I will make some correction, that it is not x1 actually this is x4. So that was some mistake in writing. So here also you can guess that function is going like this. So your minimum will lie somewhere here, and we can very well delete this area, this way. The area, this area that we have got, this is the new interval of uncertainty. So you can see that how we started from 3 in this, from point this the point whose value was 3, and now we have come to 0.708. This much we have put our focus mainly on that point where the minimum can lie. Now we will do fifth experiment to decide the fifth point. So this is the new interval of uncertainty. I have taken it from this green line only I have taken. And now what we will have to do, this our third point here, that is the point 5, we have to decide, and the same idea will be there, that these two distances will be equal. So you can decide 0.5 is 0 plus x3 minus x4, and when you will calculate it, it will come to be this. So you can say that our this point is this. Okay, now we calculate the function value here. So the situation is like this, that this value you know already in the last year we calculated this value. Now you have to calculate the value at this point, and how you will do that, you will put the value x5 into the function, means this value 0.27 in the function you will put, and you will get the value. So let's see what value we get. So this time you are getting trend like this. So you can see that our minimum will lie somewhere here. So now we will remove this area, because we are sure that our minimum will not lie here. So we will remove this area, and we will concentrate our attention to this area now. So let's draw this area and do the sixth and the last experiment to decide the point, sixth point, that is the x6 point. So now you can see that the new interval of uncertainty is this green line area I have taken. So it will start from this point x5, that is a 0.27. So you can see the start is from this, and it will end at x3, this point, and x4 point will be shown like this. This time you can see that this distance is less than this distance, so our next point will be somewhere here. So you need to decide this thing, because up to now we were deciding point here in this position, but now seeing the distance, this distance is less, so the next point will be taken in this area. So how to decide x5 point? Same way, that this distance will be equal to this distance, or some other way also you can do that, like this. I am writing it x5 is equal to, no, not x5, but actually this is x6, actually that is the, this is not point, this is not x, because x5 point we have calculated. So x6 point will be, you can decide it this way also, x5 plus x3 minus x4 with this distance. Any way you can do it. This distance is this, and this is the point x5. So if you will add this distance to this point, you will get a point this here, or you can do that, you can subtract this distance from this point. So that way also you can get it, but actually this is the standard formula we have been using in all our previous experiments. So to make or to maintain the consistency, we have used this formula. Otherwise you can use this formula also, like x3 minus x4 minus x5. So you can understand this. So when you will calculate this point, you will get this point to be 0.5400. okay, now I'm drawing this point. So this is the new area, this is the new graph, and this value we already know from the previous calculations. x4 we had calculated, so this calculation is there, this, so I have shown it here. Now we have to calculate the value at function value at f6. For that we will put this point, that is this value we will put in that function value, so you will get a function value here. So I'm writing that value. So this is the value we have calculated, and this point is above this point, and you can see that how close we have come to the point now. Almost these values are almost equal. So it means that we are gradually coming towards the minimum point. Here you can see that there is difference, this difference, and this difference was, so much difference was there, but now you can see that we are coming towards a point like this. You can see that if the function is like this, then we are coming towards this actually interval. So you can say that our minimum cannot lie here, so we will delete this area, and our minimum will lie in this area. And actually this was the last experiment, so you can say that this is the final interval of uncertainty. And if you want to find or know the value of minimum function, minimum value of the function, then you can say that this is the minimum value of function. And you can also mention that the uncertainty level is this, between these 2 points. Minimum will lie between these points. This is the uncertainty, or you can compare it with that. Make some analogy with that error that you decide for your calculations. Error can be this much, and the minimum value is this. So, and finally, what in these type of questions, what we do, we find the ratio of uncertainty. So in these two graphics you can see that this is the area of uncertainty, final area that I have drawn here, that is this area. And in the next graphics I have shown it the big picture, shown here the big picture. The first how we started from this area of uncertainty, then we refined our search, and then we pinpointed the minimum point at this point, this. So this is called actually this is initial interval of uncertainty, and this is the final interval of uncertainty. And the last of this question you can calculate the ratio of this. So L6 will be this point is x6 and x5. So if you can x6 minus 2 like this, and this is your 3 already. So write all this data, 0.5400 minus 0.270 divided by 3. So when you will solve this, you will get 0.09. So this is the ratio. Actually this much we have refined, or you can say this is the percentage, this much percentage, this much value, we are close to the minimum value. So we end the lecture here. Thank you very much.